just out of tendencies in Danzig.
We just started 2 days ago, no, 2 shows ago, and we're getting settled into it. It's pretty cool. We haven't really done anything for almost a year.
Yeah.
So we're getting the rust out of the bodies and getting the aggressions back out, and it's coming together. And coming up here and playing, this is by far the biggest show of the tour. It should be a good one, but we're enjoying it. Yeah, absolutely.
Was it your idea?
Yes. Well, we always, you know, we want bands with us. When we have bands with us, we want bands that we know and that we like, and that we can share, you know, with all the people out there and say this is somebody we endorse, for lack of, you know, for a better word. So these guys are with us now, and in about 4 weeks, our really good friends Alice in Chains come out and play for the rest of the summer. That's going to be great. I'm going to be in heaven.
Are you playing any new songs tonight?
We're not playing new songs, we're playing new old songs.
Okay.
We've gone back on the last 5 albums and dug up a lot of stuff that we've never played, some stuff we've never ever played live, some stuff we haven't played live in America and in Canada for many, many years. But you know, we really had we were off till about 2 weeks ago when we started rehearsals. And so we haven't really had time to start writing. We also wanted on purpose to wait and write till the tour is over, because it, you know, if we were, you know, going to start writing songs and stuff 2 weeks ago, they wouldn't really sit right, and also we wouldn't really have time to do what we were supposed to do, which was rehearse the old songs and to get ourselves back in shape and lose some of the beer guts and so on. So it's, we've just been rehearsing and sweating, digging up some of the old stuff, and as soon as this tour is over, the whole idea with this tour was to go out for a couple of months, have some fun, get everybody vibed up for the new album, you know, meaning ourselves, come straight off the road and start working on the new album. So that's what we're doing. So do we have any new songs? No.
Okay.
Sorry.
What have you been doing in the past year then? Relaxing, I guess.
I've been wondering what the hell happened to the past year. I don't know. It's, I spent the first 6 months at home. I bought a new house in the middle of the last tour, spent a lot of time getting that together, and most of this year I've spent traveling. I went over to Europe, spent a good part of the time in France, actually, spent some time in Denmark for 3 weeks. I was out, come in, I was out in the Pacific. I do a lot of scuba diving, and I was out in the Pacific Ocean, out in the, by the Philippines for about a month, doing some diving out there and stuff. So just been keeping busy and trying to forget about Metallica.
It's always difficult to talk about an album that is not done yet, but how do you feel about the next one? What do you hope for the next one?
It's really hard to talk about an album that's not even, we haven't started writing songs for it, we haven't done anything yet. It's, all I can say, pardon. All I can say is that we still, I think, feel very comfortable with the last album. It sounds and feels still really good, which is very unusual because it's 3 years now since we finished it. And a lot of the earlier albums, you know, whenever we finish them, you know, a week later there'd be something on there I didn't like. But this album still feels and sounds right. So I think that we'll pick up in the same place that we left off. You know, we haven't written any songs for 4 years, and when we start writing these songs, I'm sure it'll go very quickly, and I'm sure it'll just continue where we left off last time. And you know, we've already started talking to Bob again about doing the record.
Yeah,
and so
was it an obvious choice for you to work with Bob again?
You got anybody better in mind?
No.
No, I mean, you know, like they say, you know, why fix it if it isn't broken. I mean, he really brought out a lot of things in us last time, and it really worked well. So let's try it again. Until it doesn't work, you know, we'll keep doing it.
The last recording sessions for the Black Album were quite long. Are you ready to go back into that trip if it takes months of work?
It's a good question. I can't really answer that now. When I think about it, I wonder if we have if we will have the patience to deal with as many details and specifics that we dealt with on the last album. We would sit and deal so much with the sound aspect, and it really was a long process. We really had to be patient with. I don't know. Ask me in 6 months.
Yeah.
No, ask me next year. Until we start getting actual songs, you know, here's a bunch of songs. How do they feel? How do they feel like they should be recorded? How do they feel like they should feel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, not sounding silly. I don't know yet. I don't know. But 9 months was a long, you know, trip to the studio, and we'll just have to see. I mean, it's been 4 years. By the time we get going on this next record, you know, it'll be, you know, over 4 years since we were in the studio on the last
So you
album.
might enjoy it.
So we'll just see whatever happens. I mean, we're always realists, and we'll just deal with whatever happens at that moment, you know what I mean, and just make the most of it. So whatever happens, I know we'll be happy.
Woodstock this summer.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Hey, peace. It's great.
represent?
No, I mean, you know, they called us up about 3 months ago and they said, "You guys want to come do this this Woodstock thing?" Where just, you know, let us know where and when we'll be there. Since then, there's been a lot of political stuff going down about, you know, when should the bands play here and who's, you know, and is this band coming, is this band not coming? It's like, we don't care. We're just happy to be part of it. And we're looking forward to going and playing, and we'll play with anybody. We're not afraid of following or going on before what we get paid or anything. There's been a lot of political bullshit going on, but I think they're ready to announce the full lineup, and I think it's no secret to everybody that obviously we're part of it, and we look forward to it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Should it be a tribute to what happened 25 years ago, or it should be a totally independent show? How do you see it?
Well, I think if you look at what 25 years ago was about, everything that was going on in music at that time, all the, you know, the strength and all the individuality that bands had back then, and I think they're trying to get together that same idea 25 years later, putting the strongest bands and the most individual bands and most of the bands that represent what's going on in the early 90s. So we're happy to be part of that, and, you know, you figure it out.
How did you react to Kurt Cobain's suicide?
I was out on this island in the Pacific, which I told you about before. The island's about this big, and there's, like, you know, very bad communications. I was isolated out there for a long time, and I got a fax one day from my manager saying, you know, that he thought I should know this. You know, there's no CNN or anything out there. And so it was pretty a heavy thing for me to deal with. I have always had mixed feelings about him, especially in the early days when Nevermind broke and so on. I couldn't quite hear it, you know, what the whole thing was about. It took me a while to figure out what they were about, but there was all this negative thing in the press where he was saying about how he couldn't deal with it and how, you know, he couldn't deal with the success and all this, and I kind of got pissed off at that, because you know, if you can't deal with it, then get out, you know, get out of the way. But then I think over the last couple of years, I kind of understood that this was maybe the one guy out of all these people, the so-called alternative whole thing, that maybe was really, really true about what he was saying and really had a hard time dealing with all the stuff that was going on around him. And I kind of, in the last, I'd say, year, really started actually appreciating him and respecting him, and really hearing something completely different in their music. So I reacted pretty bad to it. It was something that was pretty heavy for me for a while. And, you know, now it's just, I've been listening a lot to Nirvana's music for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I keep hearing new things in it and finding new things that I appreciated, and so it was a pretty heavy thing.
A lot of bands look up to you because you've been opening lots of doors. Do you think about that sometimes?
Try not to. But I mean, you know, people point, listen to this or listen to that, and can't you hear the, you know, they've ripped you off or whatever. I have mixed feelings about it. Of course, it's a compliment that people say you're doing something new and you're opening doors and so on. That's a great personal feeling, of course, but the other side of me wonders why these people wouldn't want to go out and do more of their own thing, you know what I mean? And kind of try and get their own thing together, just like what we went out and got our own thing together. But if they enjoy doing stuff like us or whatever, I mean, who am I to sit here and say anything bad about it? But I don't know, ever since we started, we've always really wanted that independence and tried to do our own thing, and it's just been a lot of fun to try and steer around those cliches all the time, and so, you know, I just wonder why people don't want to try and do their own thing, but who am I?
How about if we watch a Metallica video right now? Which one would you like to see?
The one from For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, yeah?
No, we were going to do a video for that song in 1984. We had the script and everything ready, and then on the way down to film it, basically we said, no, it's too early to do a video. So
but there's one live, right? There's one.
Okay. What do I like to see? We can take, we can take For Whom the Bell Tolls from Seattle.
All right.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. So let's watch that.